I think it's time to ask the boss for a raise. What says you? Back in a minute. Good morning. Good morning. This is Jan from New York City, channel name Jan for New York City Saves Money. I truly love helping people keep some more of their own hard earned money. Could that be you? I say it's time for all of us to muster up the courage to comb our hair, to look in the mirror, and to ask the boss for a pay raise. Why? What do you mean, comb your hair and look in the mirror? In other words, I don't have to go to my office and ask my employer to give me a raise. No, you have to ask you, the CEO of your own life, for a pay raise. Why? Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you're struggling to make ends meet, there are only two things in life that we could do. Number one, we can cut back. Yep, tried and true, and it really works. And sometimes we could cut back to a shred, and then we realize, time to increase our income. We'll talk about the latter on another show, okay? But for today, we're going to give ourselves a pay raise. But wait a minute, you just said pay raise, but no work. Oh, well, there is kind of a little bit of work involved, and it's work that you do yourself. It's being more mindful of your expenses. Now, I've been watching some shows where some people admit their salaries. They go to get some help elsewhere and they get their stuff audited. And what shocks me, and this is the truth, and these are people 35 and below making what I would consider, but then again, I'm older, and then again, prices has changed over time, astronomical incomes. Astronomical. Quite a few in the triple digits, but cannot manage their money. So you see, that's a matter of scale, a matter of habit, and a matter of choices. Where, on the other hand, a lot of people that I know who are in the double digits of salary, which is most of the people that I speak to, they do not have that problem. They can manage their cash and they can come out ahead and they can save. Now, let's just boil it down to the nitty gritty of actual savings. So, for those that have never started to save, and there's nothing shameful about that, it happens. This is real life. I don't know the reason. Everybody has their own reason. This is not a one size fits all world. Okay. So, everybody's situation is different. If you want to give yourself a raise, you have to carefully examine your income and your habits. Do you live? Number one question. Do you live? Are you living above your means or below your means? So let's say, for example, that in real life, after taxes are taken out, you are left with, let's say, $1,500 for the month to live on. Okay. And let's say that your rent conservatively is in the 800 to $1,000 range, whatever. Okay. Because whatever the rents are by you, are you living below your means with what you have, or do you honestly need to increase your income? That's something only you can answer. Okay. But for those that technically could live below their means and choose not to because of habits that creep up, and really it is literally creeping up. A lot of people are not aware that they might have spent $400 to $500 in the previous month, unless they examine their previous month to see how much was spent dining out. Really, that could be like a shocker to some people. So every time you save something, or every time you keep some money for a different purpose besides just paying back, oh, you know me with this, the credit card, the rabbit hole of debt, DEBT, that I really hope people don't crawl into. I'm not saying credit cards don't have their place. I'm not saying that if used properly, you can actually end up doing very well, taking advantage of the rewards. I'm not saying that. But everyone in this entire world really doesn't have the will for all to handle a credit card properly, in my honest. But let's take, for example, a person that doesn't recognize that because of a small gap, they may use their credit card and fall into the rabbit hole of debt. What do I mean by gap? If you're not familiar with the numbers in your budget, you're going to overlook the fact that in all probability, there's a budget gap. And sometimes it is as slight as $80 to $150 that gets people into the rabbit hole of debt. So what ends up happening to plug up that hole, it's like being in a rowboat, right? With a little hole in it. I don't care how small the hole is. If you're in a rowboat, eventually the water is going to get through. So what they do is they take a piece of chewing gum. Well, just imagine the chewing gum plugging up that little hole, and maybe it'll get you to the dock in time if you're really, really, really lucky. Of course, I'm being facetious here. I don't think it would work, but you see where I'm going with this. So too does borrowing or taking that short-term loan from the credit card. If your income is not meeting the need and you still have a budget gap month in and month out, what do you think is going to happen? Then the card gets used again and again, but it's only for $50. It's only for $80. So that might be true about the only with the little number, but here's where the number grows and grows into a huge problem. When all that person might end up doing is making minimal payments, minimal balance payments, and the interest accrues. Okay. So that could be one of the problems. So what can we do to give ourselves a pay raise today? We got to cut out the nonsensical shopping. There's no really easier way to put this, or I mean, I don't know how clear I could be. Nonsensical, non-essential. Yes, shop for your absolute needs. If you're listening to this and you really want to cut corners and you really want to give yourself a raise, you have to be more mindful. Set a goal. I do believe in naming it and claiming it. And yes, I am old fashioned. And yes, I do the envelope system. But if you do not like to use an envelope per se, like an actual envelope, imagine a pizza pie graph in your brain as to where is your money going. Some pieces of the pizza pie are going to be larger, like in housing and stuff like that. But where a person can have wiggle room, right? You think of the 50 and the 30 and the 20% rule. 50% should go on your necessities, 30% is your discretionary spending, 20% is your savings, okay? You have a lot of wiggle room in that 30%. Some people think they have more wiggle room than not, but the truth be told, if you want to start earning that extra pay, if you will, give yourself that raise, look in the mirror and say, today I am going to give myself a raise. I'm going to make more mindful decisions. I don't care if that pay raise is by cutting down, making that phone call and cutting down your utility or your other like cable or internet bills, whatever, phone, cut it down somewhat, somehow, in some way. Find the best plan for you and for your family. Make that phone call. Allow yourself that hour or two a day to help your finances get better. Allow yourself to look over the numbers. Don't say I'm too busy. Not really. Should make the time. This is just the way I feel. I'm just saying it like it is. Make that time. Funny, people say they're too busy. Funny though, a lot of the same people that say they're too busy have no problem waiting on a 15 to 20-minute line to get into one of those high-end coffee places. I mean, to me, that is a waste of time, not to mention a waste of money, and that's its own show, another one. But today's the day that you are going to look in that mirror and you're going to stay focused. And remember, you're going up to your would-be employer, which is you, the CEO of your own life. Look in the mirror and say, today is the day I'm going to give myself a raise. I don't have to ask me for a raise because I'm going to tell me today's the day I'm going to give myself a raise. I'm going to find little ways that add up. There's no savings amount that's too small. Honestly, even if it means buying generic cereal at the grocery store instead of spending full price, even if it means taking your salad into work, keep your bottle of dressing in your refrigerator and at the job and just put it on your, nicely wrapped in a good sealable container of your salad. Instead of spending $10, $14 somewhere for salad, which is insanity. Make up your mind today. This is the day I'm going to give myself a raise. This is the week I'm definitely going to put $5 to the side And I'll be ready for when Jan from New York City Saves Money reminds me on Friday to put it on the side for increasing your stockpile. This is the day. Not only did I ask myself for a pay raise, I'm going to get that pay raise today. There you go. If you found value in this video, please smash down the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Pretty soon, it's my 5th year anniversary. I would love to see the numbers rise. Just saying, just saying. Hope this has helped at least one person today. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.